I was guilty of doing that back in the day. The old, pulling, and you're basically pulling it here, then you're trying to push your chest to the bar, thinking that actually doing anything where you're just literally lowering yourself to the weight, and you're missing out on that, on the good fruits of the full range of motion. What is up? It's your boy Johnny Street 5 BB Promos to Tell Like It Is. Welcome back to another episode of Coaching Up. Today we're coaching up Jesse James and Anthony Mantello. It's actually Anthony Mantello's video on his channel, so go look at it, guys. It is Road to Pro workout with David Lade and Jesse James West. Now, Anthony's in his prep, coming down to the very end of it, looking really good. I still got hope for this kid. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get his pro card eventually. I don't know when, but he's gonna get it. Either way, I'm gonna go through this video because a lot of stuff I see in this, it's a back workout where I wanna kind of break things down, make them a little more clear, and kind of like, fix the confusion in the air about some of these movements. So let's move on. Okay, so we got some bent over rows with the Smith machine, which is awesome to do again. Now we're just watching Jesse and Anthony, and again, you're looking at different sets. We're gonna just check a couple things that I do not like with Zoom, but look at the difference between his set, right? And look at the difference between Jesse's set. Now I was gonna watch Jesse again. He gets to the point where he kind of starts to jerk at the end, trying to pull the weight down. Right here, I was guilty of doing that back in the day. The old, pulling, and you're basically pulling it here, then you're trying to push your chest to the bar, thinking that actually doing anything where you're just literally lowering yourself to the weight, and you're missing out on that, on the good fruits of the full range of motion. Either way, when we're doing bent over rows, basically I want you to treat this the same as a stiff leg deadlift in terms of like your posture, right? Either way, so what I want to do is from here, walking up to the bar, right? I'm gonna hinge myself. Just even like if the weight's here, it's just like a rack pull almost. I'm here, but I don't want to get to here and then trying to pull it off. I want to get in my position like I was doing a deadlift, get the weight off, pull it back, and stand up. Now my leverage is going to come from my posture being that Romanian deadlift look. So I'm basically hinging my butt back, right, and my heel, so you can see from here all the way down. Now a couple cues you can just understand right away is, if you don't feel your hamstrings and glutes extremely tight, a couple things are happening. Number one, you're probably rounded back here. Two, you're probably on your toes this way. And three, you're probably not hinging enough to put the stress on your glutes, because that's where our leverage is gonna be. So when we're here pulling, we're from here, we're down, we wanna basically hinge back, and then we wanna pull. Now if you watch when I pull slower, I'm almost pulling myself to the bar, but my butt's going like this. Right, my toes on the ground, I'm gripping from here and I'm pulling myself. I'm not pulling and then doing this and trying to get the weight there. My whole goal from this is to grip my chest to the bar, but I don't want to pull my chest to the bar. Anthony's doing a really good job of being here and then opening the chest up, which we want to do. We want to pull this back, or we want our scaps to retract. Our traps are going to pull these shoulder blades together from here. But we also do want our chest, again, to do this. We want to have our shoulders go from here to here. We're pulling. Now we can stay in this position too for those who are not as advanced. We can stay locked in like this and then pull to here, which is fine. But if you want to have a little bit more of that scap retraction, go pronation and pull. A little pronation and pull when you're pulling. But avoid pulling and then trying to lower yourself to the bar. It doesn't do anything for you at all. You basically lose about a foot of the rep by bringing it here and then trying to lower yourself down. So use this machine, which is awesome, but add a weight that you can use. It's gonna like exhaust your form. Don't have a weight that's on there that's gonna break your form within a couple reps. It's kind of useless, right? We wanna be a little more like Anthony. Pull those shoulder blades back, chest open, right? Very engaged, and keep that neutral spine in the neck. So make sure you're just looking down. Don't worry about looking in the mirror. You feel the weight, right? You have to watch yourself. This is a cool movement I like him doing. I'm gonna go over this movement with you guys, but this is a very misunderstood movement. I see done all the time, and people really don't understand what the point of this is. And I'll show you how this can help a lot of you bodybuilders as well too. But again, like, a couple things right now. One right now, I can tell he's kind of squeezing the bench a bit, so we're gonna get some kind of knee valgus in there. But again, look at the way he's holding this. Like, hold the shit, okay? Stop being cute with your hands. Grip this shit, right? I don't care if you got some fancy whatever it is, and I'll go over some of these things over here in a second in terms of like, grip. But like, think of your hands like your feet. If you want to like run solidly, if you want to have like a good foundation in terms of running or walking or mobility or being agile, whatever it is, think of your ankles. If your ankles are doing this, if your feet were doing this, when you're trying to do anything, you would probably fall all over the place. So don't think that this does not manipulate the rest of the pull or the push or whatever you're doing in terms of like progressing in any certain way possible. I'm gonna give you guys some grip coaching real quick, okay? We got 3 different types of grip on here, okay? Number 1, if we're gonna do what he's doing, we're holding it like this. Not this, not this, not this, not this, not this, not this, not this. You're using your hands in gripping here. You got your old school traditional handle. You hold it like this. Sits right here across the palm of your hand. We don't want it up here because you're not really holding anymore. It's really not there in your hand. It needs to be here and then gripped around. We're here. Now, if you want to do like a false grip or monkey grip, whatever you call it, and kind of do one of these things, that's fine, but make sure it's here and not like this. This is not acceptable. This means you're gonna lose your forearm strength ASAP. Whatever, you're not a damn monkey. So use the damn thumbs, okay? But again, even when I'm over top, my thumb is still here aiding. Right? I'm not like this. I'm not doing this stuff, and I've seen this happen before. Now we have these. Now I've seen, a lot of people have seen probably used these before. If you haven't, same thing. These are made so you can kind of have a better grip without using your thumb, but you're basically pulling over here. And remember, it's this. It's not this. There's no, the whole point of this is useless now because this is what it's made for you it's made for you to do this, okay? Right, I don't want my knuckle to be over top of this. I don't want my knuckle to be like this. It's not here, it's here. Right, and then it sits with my wrist, flush with my wrist. Part of this movement, it's a really fun one to do. It's advanced, and I say it's advanced because if you can't do a row like this properly, don't start doing fancy dancy moves and such. Fancy dancy. Fancy dancy. The point of this is to really, really get a nice squeeze all the way down. Remember, our lats connect basically, teres major, minor lats basically attach like our under armpit, so like basically like right here on our shoulder, and then it attaches a couple ribs, goes all the way down and attaches right into our hip, or iliac crest, whatever you want to call it. If you guys just want to, your hip, okay? It's attached down here. So when I want to do this pull, I'm trying to pull all the way down here. What I want to do is I want to force my shoulder depression while I'm here, now these guys are here, I want to push my elbows to the floor, so when I'm pulling in, my elbows are driving low. I don't want it to drive high. There's no point in me doing this if I'm pulling up high. If I want my trap, my mid trap, my upper traps, or whatever you want to call it to work, I'm going to pull to here, right? Elbows going to come up, I'm going to pull to here. I don't want to be in this position down here and doing this. It's useless. We want to push down here. Now, the reason why I said this is a really good movement to do for bodybuilders is because a couple things. If you're doing a back double bicep and you're back like this and you do one of these to show your Christmas tree and then you're opening up, or you're here and then you're opening up, you're working on that right now. Again, you're tucked here and you're pulling low. You're doing a low pulley row to bring the Christmas tree out, the erectors, right? So this is a really good movement to do for bodybuilders, but again, to make this more optimal, not necessarily to make it optimal, just to break it down for you, what we want to do is, okay, my back's rounded. Okay, you guys are gonna be like, your back's rounded. Yes, it is. It's rounded, but my core looks like this. I am tightening my core the entire time. So when I'm pulling this weight, I'm keeping my head down, feet are planted. I'm really pushing into my core. I'm pushing my core like I'm constipated or some shit. I'm trying to push the shit out, or I'm really just waiting for someone to give me the biggest uppercut in the stomach. So I'm just tensing it hard here, and then elbows are pulling, and then I'm pulling in and tight here, and then going out, and then pulling in tight, protracting, let myself come all the way out, and then I'm pulling right in. And this is gonna really hit the lower lat a lot more and pulling in. That's how we want to perform. This one is from here and pulling in and pushing those shoulders to the ground. So think about always pushing the elbows to the floor. It's going to set our shoulders and pulling back. And we're going to feel it a lot more all the way down here. And then we're going to feel it in our lower back a bit. In terms of our erectors being engaged, I'm not saying we're feeling the lower back because they're hyperextending or because their back's rounded. We're going to feel it there because we're in a position where we're isolating and exposing that. But then we're making it work harder by engaging your core. So if some of you guys want to go out there and try this, take a hand like this and put it on your back, and you can either cough, right? Cough, or say push or pull. You might find yourself when you say P, push or pull, you cannot say push or pull without your abs contracting. And when you do that, you might find in the back as well too, your erectors are starting to actually contract as well too. So again, when we're contracting our core, we're not only contracting this, but we're actually contracting our erectors as well too, which is going to give us a lot more stability in our torso. You can tell the difference between an actual bodybuilder and an influencer that body builds. Everybody can body build. Anthony Mantello is an actual bodybuilder. Jesse James does the act of bodybuilding, like anybody else who's in a gym trying to change their physique is doing the act of bodybuilding. If you have not gone through the process of changing your physique in the midst of actually dieting down to the point where you feel like absolute dog shit, and because you feel like dog shit, you know you look really good, pretty weird to think about, that is actually bodybuilding. Getting on stage, being tired, dehydrated, blah, 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 doing your poses, routine, and so forth. Don't pose like this, but you know what I'm saying. Cringe. Either way, that's a bodybuilder. Someone who does that and competes is a bodybuilder. People who are just changing their physique are doing the act of bodybuilding. That's totally fine. Just make sure you guys understand the difference. Just watch how you can see the intention that Anthony has. He has intention. Everything he's doing, he has a plan. There's a reason why he's doing this. There's a reason why he's moving. Like you could tell, like, you know, this is a very foreign thing he's doing. He's, you know, just, you know, and good for Jesse, great physique. So good for him. But this is someone who I'm looking at, if I'm looking in terms of like, you know, someone to follow or to, you know, in terms of bodybuilding. You follow both these guys. They're great guys, entrepreneurs, amazing. David Lathe, they're all good people. Again, specific to bodybuilding, I'm with Anthony Mantello the whole way, right? Just to go over this movement here, and people get this one mixed up all the time, and what's cool is I'm gonna take a couple cues from my boy Mike Van Wyck. So check out my boy Mike Van Wyck. Oh, we gotta tighten these things up. Mike Van Wyck from Wicked Training on YouTube. Check him out. A lot of stuff he says is really cool. We speak the same language. He breaks things down in very, very, very simple terms for you to understand. When we're doing this movement, what we wanna do is like, yes, if you're a beginner, we do want this to be, you know, pad on, chest on pad, or, you know, right over by your sternum, chest up from here. And then we do want to just, you know, pull back and keep ourselves in a nice position here and forward, right? We're not doing any kind of protracting. Our scaps are kind of retracted already. And we're pulling in, we're keeping this position. This is your beginner position if I was gonna do this in any kind of fashion, whether it's a seated row on a play loaded machine or a seated row on a, you know, cable machine. Making this more advanced. Now, if we're really in terms of like, you know, some people are like, man, I need to get my back thicker, or I really wanna, you know, work on back thickness. The judge said that I lack in back thickness, right? What we're talking about is the back part of your body, of your back, basically, that makes yourself look wider, thicker, not wider. So look at your traps, you kind of pop out, your rhomboids, your rear delts, you know, all that kind of popping out, and we're gonna get a lot of that from scap retraction. So what we wanna do is make our shoulder blades, you know, retract as much as we can. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna emphasize a little bit of protraction from here, because I want, the more I push out from here, now I'm a little rolled, I have to, the more I'm push out here, the more my body or my traps, my scapulas have to retract, pulling itself back and then rowing, right? So we're doing the first movement, really, we're doing this, right? This is the first thing we're doing, is here, right? And then we're here and then opening up, right? So the first thing we're doing is scap retraction, and then we're doing the rest of the pull, right? And then letting ourselves, again, we want to have, we need to be able to run freely or fluently through our shoulders. We need to be able to do this and pull and have control over doing it without, I don't know, looking simple. Some people do this shit and they're like, they just don't get it. You know what I mean? It's either a lot of this or it's like a lot of this. It's just, I'm exaggerating the shit out of it, yeah, but like it happens. I see it all the time in the gym. You know, have some intention, we're lifting. That's the difference between, again, bodybuilding and doing the active bodybuilding. When we're bodybuilding, and some of you guys who are just doing the active bodybuilding can take some cues on what we're doing, because we're literally building our body. That's what we're going on stage to do. We're going to change our physique. You know, we're doing it at the most extreme level. We're not doing it just to get on the beach and look good, but again, on the way there, we look good doing it. So either way, do things with intention, right? So we're gonna protract from here. My core is still engaged. And again, when I'm protracting, I'm not just letting loose and let this thing pull me and drape me over this freaking thing here. That's not what I want. I want to push myself away and then pull. So when I push away, my chest is actually engaged. So this is actually activated and not sitting here kind of drooped over like this. And you get off and like, oh man, I was doing T-bar rows and my sternum was killing me the other day. It's like, yeah, because you guys are on T-bars or any kind of chest support, just kind of drooping over. You want to engage your core and then push, because when I'm engaging my core and pushing, you can see here, I'm solid on this, but I'm fully, you know, extended from here. So again, pushing away, and then we're pulling in, scaps first, and then the rest, and then we're coming up. So pull from here and up, pull and up, pull and up. Now we don't have to go from here and pull, and then do this thing, take it back right off, because then we're trying to use our back too much. Keep your stomach or your core on the bench or on the pad here, and keep engaged the entire time, and pull. Here, here, squeeze, and control it out. And that's about that. I thought I'd go over this video. I saw it and I was like, this is a really good video to do. Some very basic movements, but you know, some basic movements turned into some advanced movements at the same time. And I just want to kind of break these things down, because a lot of times, you know, guys like this, channels like this they're great to watch, good to pump you up before the gym, but they leave out a lot of the explanation. And that's what we need. You know, we need to understand why we're doing certain things, or have things broken down so you understand why they are doing those things. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. You know, come with the tell, it is transparent, vulnerable truth. For coaching, johnsheed.com. If you want to know more about my coaching, book yourself a 15 or 30-minute consult. At the end of the consult, I deduct it off any package that you pick. Also, guys, hit the description below for those discount codes and promo codes to help save your life or change your life for the better. Like Johnny10 for 10% off Blue Star Nutraceutical. Head there now, use my code. Anyway, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, guys. Send me your progress pics, your training pics, and your video clips, and I'll repost it for you, because you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.